Hi guys, I am back from Alaska. I haven't got my videos from Alaska or my pictures put together, so this will be my first video since I've been back. I was back for a month. I was gone for a month, for those of you that don't know. I'm really red because I've been making chips and it's hot over there. But anyway, like I said, my first video is going to be how I make my chips, and I will get the Alaska video together as soon as I can. So I hope you enjoy this one. What I'm using, I already have these cut up, and I am using the white corn tortilla. The corn tortillas work best. You can use yellow corn or white corn. This package is 30. I had 2 packages, so I had 60. And I took my knife and I just cut them in these little triangle here. And then I use my cast iron skillet and I put the chips in there. And I'm using this spatula here. Just kind of move them around a little bit. And you want to cook them until they just start turning a light brown, because they'll brown up a little bit more in the container. As you can see, I'm using a regular Christmas popcorn container. So let me set you up here. Okay, when I make the chips, they turn out like this. I don't know if you can tell, but they're real crunchy. They don't just break apart. They're thicker, and they hold your sauce better. Here's my homemade sauce. They're great for dipping because they don't just break apart. And I'm just using regular vegetable oil. You can use canola oil or whatever kind of oil you want, I guess. I just had vegetable oil. And I save my oil. I let it cool down, and then I put it in my coffee can with a lid. And that way when I get ready to make chips again, I just use the same grease, and if I need to, I add to it. But when you're putting your grease in your pan, you don't want to put, but don't go over 3/4 on your pan. My oil, hopefully you can see where my finger is. No, you can't. Well, anyway, the oil is about 3/4 in the pan, because when you put your chips in there, your oil is going to bubble. And I'll show you as soon as I get ready to, excuse me, put the next batch in. But these are almost done. I don't know if you can see, but they're just turning brown. So I'm going to take them out in a minute. And then, excuse me while I munch on this chip here. Okay, what I do when I take them out is I salt every other batch that I take out. So you can either salt them here, or you can salt them after you put them in your container that you're going to store them in. But you just drop them in the container, just like that. And I put napkins down in the bottom of my container. There's probably about 8 to 10 napkins. That way the grease that drains down to the bottom of your container will absorb in the napkin. So once you get them all out of here, like I said, and put them in your container, then you can obviously you can use as little as salt as you want, or you can use no salt. We like salt, so I just sprinkle salt over that one. And then the next batch that I take out, I will not salt. So what I do is I take my cut tortillas, and again, they are corn. You can use flour, but I prefer the corn. They have a much better flavor. And this really kind of stinks when you cook them, but they are delicious. So I always have the fan on behind me here to help with not only the heat, but with the smell. But you just, oh goodness, hot. You put them in there, and then I just move them around a little bit. And as you can tell, it's really boiling. So you don't want to put too much grease in there, otherwise you're going to have a great big huge mess and possibly a fire. Now as these are cooking, you can see there's not as many bubbles from the grease, but they will, I just stir them like, I don't know, a couple times, maybe 5-6 times, And the total time, cook time in the hot grease, I'm not really sure. I just watch them, and like I said, when they first start turning brown, I pull them up because they will brown a little bit more in the container. Now, my girls have all tried to make these, and they say that they can't do it like Mom does. I don't know why. I've showed them all. The only thing I can think of is maybe the container that they're storing them in. Maybe this container makes a difference. I don't know. But I think they just like Mom to make them personally. Okay, as you can tell, this batch is just about done. They're just starting to turn brown. So I'm going to give them just a few more seconds. And if I were to guess, it would probably take 5 to 8 minutes per batch. That's from dropping them in until you take them out. And it probably takes, well, depending on how many I cook, it takes about an hour probably to do all these, maybe an hour and a half. That's cutting them up, waiting for your grease to heat, and then cooking each batch. Let's see, I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or 8 piles of 60. So it takes a little while, but to me they're worth it, and my grandkids love them. I used to salt every batch that I take out, but I decided to cut down on the salt because we don't really need it, and the grandkids like to lick the salt off the chip, and that's probably not the best for them, but neither is all this grease either, I know. But anyway, we just, like I said, salt every other one, and it works for us. But you can try it and see how you like it, and salt them to your taste. It's better to salt them when you first take it out of the grease, because after the grease dries, then the salt doesn't stick to the chip as well. So I just like to do it that way. Anyway, this is the last little group here that I have, and just be careful and don't pop the grease up on your hand. But I kind of just drop them in one at a time, spread them all around, and then, like I said, your grease is going to bubble up when you first put them in there. Uh-oh, almost dropped that one. And then I just take my little thingy here again and mix it around. And there we go. Just let that one cook. And like I said, that will be our last batch. And it almost filled up the whole popcorn container can. Let me see if I can show that to you. Hopefully you can see that. I don't know, it's pretty dark there. But like I said, it's just one of those popcorn containers. And there you go. You can see it a little bit better there. Hopefully it shows up better in the video. But that's all there is to it. If you have any questions or anything, leave them in the comments, and I'll be glad to try to answer them to the best of my knowledge, or the best I can. And if I don't have the answer, then maybe I can figure it out. But anyway, let me know if you try them, and let me know how they turn out for you. Thanks for watching, and I hope you learned something. And if you do make them, I hope you enjoy them as much as we do. Please don't forget to share, like, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel. Thank you, God bless you, and you have a great evening.